Hello everyone. Welcome to today's meetup session on building responsible GAI solutions with Azure OpenAI DALL-E. This event is hosted by Data Couch, and today we are honored to have our SME Vishwanath Swami as a instructor for the session. Now, let me introduce to our speaker for today, Mr. Vishwanath Swami. He is an architect at AIS, a leading provider of software and cloud solutions. Swami is a certified Scrum Master and leads to the DevOps team, overseeing Scrum ceremonies, project deliverables, and project requirement, scope, duration, and cost definitions. He possesses extensive experience in designing and developing microservices architecture, deploying services in Azure Service Fabric and Docker or Kubernetes clusters, and conducting performance testing and PCI PA certification. Swami has also been recognized as a most valuable professional by Microsoft. We warmly welcome Mr. Swami and look forward to his insights during today's session. So, before we begin, let me take a moment to introduce Data Couch. We are leaders in professional service delivery, specializing in generative AI, data engineering, cloud, blockchain, cybersecurity, agile, DevOps, data science based consulting, implementation, and training. Our offerings include consultancy, custom solution implementation, enablement services, and upskilling and training. In addition to our core offerings, we have a proprietary browser-based virtual lab solutions, and we also offer managed services for infrastructure and human capital to meet the unique requirements of organization of all the sizes and scale. We are excited to share that our global footprint has enabled us to transform the careers of over 200K professionals. Thanks to this growing community of learners, our expertise now spans cutting edge technologies like Web3, generative AI, big data, DevOps, and cloud, to name just a few, where we continue to push the boundaries of innovation. Highlighting our significant achievements, we have successfully partnered with Fortune 500 companies and global system integrators such as Infosys, Accenture, and TCS, as well as tech giants like Apple and Google, and financial corporations like PayPal and Bank of America, among others. Driven by our commitment to community and knowledge sharing, we have established three specialized meetup groups: AI Minds, Generative AI User Group, and All Things Data. With a membership exceeding 25,000, our community has participated in 200 such sessions, over 200 such sessions covering more than 100 diverse technologies and tools. We are honored to announce that Confluent has recognized us as the only global education partner for the year 2022 and 23. This recognition, received for the second consecutive year, underscores our leadership in providing cutting edge training and consultancy services on a global scale. So, as the first training delivery partner for Starbucks Data, One House, and Event Store, we are proud to forge and build upon strong partnerships with industry leaders. With some client names remain confidential, our collaborations include a global beverage and snacks multinational, a premier North American payment solution providers, a cutting-edge cybersecurity and risk management platform, and a retail giant with operations across 5 continents. Now, I would like Swami to take over the session.
Hey, thanks, Navjot. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute. Is my screen in share? I think it is, right? My screen is in share, isn't it? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, so this is my GitHub repo, folks. And as we were discussing, today's session will be on two things. One is on responsible generative AI, and other one is DALL-E, related to the DALL-E. To a decent extent, we'll cover DALL-E till here. I think this will take it up in the next session. We'll see how it goes. If time permits, we'll jump into this lab and we will do that. And we will see. We'll keep all the options open. Okay. So that being said, let's come back and see this responsible generative AI. So what is this, why it is needed? So now a lot of things are being trained, and almost the similar solution we are able to retrieve, and some people might take undue advantage of the system and generate something which is not supposed to be generated. So, like, if you see, I'll give one quick example before we go any further. Like, I can come in here to the chart, and I'm asking to, uh,
Swami, sorry to interrupt. I
yeah.
think your face of cam is off. Uh,
Oh, I switched it off. Do you want me to come on camera? I will.
uh, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me start the video. Am I? I'm on. Okay. So, like, if I come and see this, type something like this, and send. So I send this, and immediately I got it. Didn't uh, look at that. So if you see this, I was giving this prompt and asking it to generate. It clearly says that no, I can't do this. Okay. Similarly, if I come in and try something, okay, I'm trying to. So this is a little bit good, but if I ask it to give some racist comments or something which is harmful, derivative, so those kind of things, it upfront it says that I can't assist you on this. So this is already taken care by OpenAI and Azure OpenAI. At multiple levels, they're trying their level best, and all the prompts which we are sending is getting logged, and it will be analyzed for these kind of things, like um, something which we shouldn't generate, or something jailbreak, or all these things which should not give. So it's going to take it. So that is what the responsible AI. So it is very powerful, but also you need to ensure that it's not generating something which it should not generate, because it's been already trained. So the second thing what we will look at is plan a responsible generative AI solution. So why is this more important for us? Just give me a minute. I'll have a glass of water real quick. So imagine a scenario nowadays. Every almost most of the solutions is including AI to some capacity. In future, I think more and more projects they will start including AI to some capacity. So assume that I'm playing around in this one. The deployment has been done, so I can code this. So not all people will have access to this Azure portal. So what the company is thinking is fictitious company is thinking that okay, let's expose a simple chatbot application and give access to the team members, maybe sales or a bunch of developers or other things like project managers or sales executives and different people. So all those people are trying to use the same chatbot which we created in house, so that everybody will take advantage of this Gen AI, GAI, generative AI. So someone is not trying to do some kind of mischief and learn something. So that is where this responsible generative AI solutions are coming in. Assume that a company is their software company, and it has got a subscription and it is creating a chatbot and giving to testers, DevOps people and infra people, as well as the software developers, tech leads. Different groups will be there. Instead of giving uh, different subscriptions or access, we can expose it through one chatbot, and they can specify the system message and start using it. Like all the infra people, they can specify the system message, as I have given the system message from the exercise, saying that you are a chatbot, racist chatbot, and give a derogative statements. And similarly, we can say that you are a chatbot who's expert in infrastructure and start using it. Okay, this we will come and see that you are an expert in software. Okay. Um, I'm asking what is Terraform. So it is pretty clearly giving an information, because we said that this is, now let's see this, you're in DevOps. Okay. What is ADO? Okay. Azure DevOps. It clearly picked it up. I mean, I didn't wanted, I wanted to confuse, but see this, it is using its due diligence. It says that Azure Develop ADO has got different meanings, but here you can see this. Mostly Azure DevOps is ADO, and ADO is a previous technology where we used to use to connect to this SQL Server. That's old technologies like ADO.NET or application development optimization. Different things are coming. So similarly, in the previous episode, we saw that we said that you're a cardiologist, and we said that what is TB, and then it went into deep into that cardiologist data, and it picked up that according to cardiology, TB means so and so. And when we said that you are a general assistant, and when we typed TV, it clearly said that TV means it's a television. So it makes a differentiation. My intention was here, I said that DevOps. So it rightly picked up like Azure DevOps could be the near matching. So that's what it gave in the first place. So this is one motivation. Like we create one chatbot and have the system message as a drop down or whatever the mechanism which we expose, and entire organization can use. So that's one thing. So that is the right place where we start implementing. Like identify potential harms that are relevant to your planned solution. Like let's assume that this is a fictitious software company and we want to expose a chatbot. What could be the potential harm we need to identify, and then measure the presence of harms, like what is that it is getting generated, mitigate, how to mitigate that, and we need to put this operational and readiness plan. So we'll see that one very good example. It is given in this documentation. Like see this: identify potential harms, prioritize identified harms, test and verify, and document and share the verified harms. That means, like if you see in Scrum Agile, what we will do is we'll start with the sprint planning, day one, and 12 days of work, 14th day demo, and 15th day retrospective. So in the retrospective, even if you are finding 10 different issues, we'll not start working on fixing all these 10 issues. Let the 10 issues be there, but we'll select top three or top two, which we can fix it in next sprint. Like the sprint, I'm assuming it's 10 days or 15 days, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Let's assume it's 2 week sprint. So within this 2 weeks, what is that we can fix out of this 10, top one or top two, whatever which can be fixed. So similarly, even though we identify different potential harms, so these we can categorize as low, medium, and high. So out of them, which one we want to fix it? We have to prioritize something which might be harm, and we want to prioritize, but it takes a lot of time. But something which is high, we definitely need to. But within that, we need to prioritize that what all the things which we can uh, identify, fix it within the sprint or within the given time. Okay, so see these kind of things like factual inaccuracies is like in the previous session we were discussing about the COT, chain of thought. So previously the queries, the prompts which were of mathematical mathematical questions kind of thing, the chat GPT or other AI models were not able to perform that good. And later on, they trained on them, and now they are doing a pretty good job on that one. So similarly, factual inaccuracies, that means what is happening is in the same sample we saw that we did grounding, and we set the system message you are a specific chatbot for this um, uh, to the very specific to that animal kingdom kind of thing, and it clearly said that Contoso is red panda. So without giving the grounding text, when we asked that, it gave some fictitious. Once it said that I don't know. Sometimes it said that elephant or something. It gave the answer. Then we did the grounding. Then it gave the correct answer saying that red panda. So sometimes it gives us a inaccurate data. It's not the model is wrong. It's because we asked some question which it doesn't know at that time. Like if I come back and ask, it might give the correct answer. What is the time in India now? Okay, so sometimes it gives it. Sometimes it says that uh, it doesn't know. So at this point of time, we will be doing a function call to go get the data whenever it doesn't know, or we need to give the grounding if at all. So either the grounding, or we need to do an external call to our internal system or to the SQL database or to external API. That depends upon whatever the content which we are getting output from that AI, which is not sufficient. And if we have, we will give the grounding data. If that grounding data is not enough, then we might need to do an external call to go and get the data. So this is what we are saying, that it has to wherever it might produce an inaccurate data, in this case we need to give the grounding data. And some illegal and unethical practices, we have to be very strict on that, and it's a big no-no. So in prioritize also, we need to prioritize some. This is a very good example which I liked it when I was going through. Pretty simple, like it's a cooking recipe cooking. Like it takes 20 minutes to cook some item. If it is taking if it says 15 minutes, that it's giving a wrong information, and potentially the guy is using this chatbot to create the food, he might spoil it, or something will happen on that one, because instead of 20 minutes, if it says 15 minutes, which is a wrong information. And that's one thing. And if it says that uh, some vegetable or chicken has to be cooked for 15 minutes, instead it says that cook it for 8 minutes, that's an undercooked food. And people eating that, they might fall ill. And recipe for lethal poison using the everyday ingredients at home. So that's very dangerous one. So then we need to test and verify the presence of the harm. lot of those things. And red team is often used to find security vulnerabilities or other weaknesses that can compromise the integrity of software solutions. So that's, we can form the red team to go ahead and test. And another thing is, once whatever we tested, we will have to share the document with the details. And the third point is what? Measure potential harm. So, whatever the harm it is, whether it is low, medium, or high, we need to decide that where we should flag it and where we should stop. We'll see that while we are creating the content filter, our own custom content filter. But here you can see that we can go ahead and identify like what all the harms and how we can categorize that, like prepare the diverse selection of input prompts. And harm can come in the prompts or in the output it generated. Like if I go and ask it, give me a derivative joke on software engineers. So technically, it should not do that. Let's try. Please give me a racist joke on software. Technically, it should say that I can't assist with you. That's good. Okay. That's good. Okay. So that's one way. Now here, what is happening is the harm is entering into the system in the prompt. So you need to identify even the prompts which are coming in. Does it contain any harm? And also the output which it generated. So whether that has got any harm or not. And we'll see that in all the prompts, previous prompts which we were doing it. And let me see this one. There's also, we'll come back to this a little later. But if you see that, it clearly says that sorry, I can't assist with this. But if you see here in the content filter, heat and protected material code or protected material text, detected false, and self harm and sexual in nature or violence, whatever is there, it is giving as part of the output. It identifies, it does its best judgment. But the good thing is, sorry, I can't assist you with that. That's one good thing. So another thing is what categorization of something which we are entering through prompts or something which is retrieved as part of the output. We need to specify how do we rate it, whether it is low, medium, or high. And we need to definitely have the testing for everything to ensure that nothing is skipping. Like if you see that mitigate potential harm. So this is one important thing at the model layer and safety system, meta prompts, grounding user experience. And here if you can see that some of the models which is already trained, and somewhere if we create some new model and that model is not yet trained in this one, it is our duty to go and do our own fine tuning of that model to say that don't give these kind of information or don't allow these kind of prompts. And safety system layer. So here what is happening is the application here itself, when we see this, the prompt is going and it went to the model, and model is giving this information to us. So that also we can protect it, like how many times I'm entering this. That's the reason I'm not entering more number of times. It might black mark my request. So I'm little choosy in entering. But what we can do is we can specify how many times these kind of requests are coming from which IP, what is that is trying to break into the system or take undue advantage of the system. We need to block that guy. And meta prompt and grounding. This grounding, we saw that in the previous one, where instead of giving the unrealistic or not correct information and giving imaginary results, if we give the grounding data, it will help to give accurate information. Like how many minutes to prepare Maggie? It's 6 minutes or 7 minutes or 8 minutes. That's a generic prompt. And suppose if we have Maggie with additional vegetables, we can have one grounding data, or all Maggie related recipes can be in one grounding data store, and that we can attach it to this solution. So whenever the model is trying to do, it uses the prompt and also the grounding data from the data store to give the accurate information. And meta prompts are the system inputs that define the behavioral parameters of the model. Like these kind of system information itself, we can see that. Now I clearly told that you are a DevOps expert in DevOps in software. I mean, that's not the correct one, but I'm telling that we can specify that don't give any derivative information, or don't entertain any jailbreak questions, or don't entertain any prompts which is asking to give me a recipe with short circuiting, like instead of cooking the food at 15 minutes, which is the correct time to cook that food, if I want to create something which gives me a wrong information or shortcut of cooking the same recipe in 7 minutes instead of 15 minutes. So that might create a problem to the guy who's eating. So those things. And using the rag pattern. Rag, I'm holding on it because next we'll come back to the rag. We'll see approach to retrieve contextual data from the trusted data source and include it in the prompt. So what will happen is there will be a data store, and when we are prompting, first time it doesn't have in that data store. I go and get the data and store it, and again next time I'm sending the prompt, I'll send this prompt relevant information and the data from the data store. So that's one. I'm just parking on it. We'll come back to that one. And at the user experience layer. So user experience layer itself, we can stop some of those things reaching the model. That's one thing. And this one, operate a responsible generative AI solution. It's like create the legal, privacy, security, accessibility. But these bulleted points are pretty nice. I really liked it. Like we can have a phase-wise delivery. Like assume that in the fictitious software company which we were discussing has got 4 teams, and each team has got 5 people. So 5 4 are 20 people are there in that department. So instead of rolling out this solution to all 20 people, so what we can do is from that 4 teams, we can select the architects, and we'll give this limited release only for those 4 architects, and then see that how these 4 architects are using it, and are they trying to do something which is against the rules of the game, and then see how to track it. Like if at all something they're trying to do, then we can easily reach them, and they are using good, then we'll onboard the project leads, and then tech leads, then the two developers in that, like all 20 people are getting enrolled into the solution, but in a phase wise manner. And incident response plan include that estimates of the time to respond unanticipated incidents. Like let's assume that architects are good, then we onboarded for project leads, they are also good. When we onboarded the technical leads, someone tried to do something. So what is that we can do? And we did some upgrade to the solution, and suddenly previously it didn't allow such kind of prompts. Now we are allowing those prompts. Now how can we do an automatic rollback or do a planned manual rollback, but we need to do immediately so that uh, the users are not taking undue advantage of that. And provide a feedback, and we can track, like everything is getting tracked. That's the reason I'm not giving more prompts to this, which it tracks my subscription, and it might say that not I'm not going to give any answer to this. So that is the reason I'm just adding this is just to test the prompt and functionality. So I'm just adding it, and it is doing its best judgment to do that. Okay. Then we'll see the exercise, and this is the exercise. So we can see that AI hub, how to create the AI hub, and then we will first see that AI hub, and then we'll come back to this. If I come back to AI Studio, here are a couple of things. View all the projects, and these are the projects which are there. So that's the hub. If I want to create a new project, a project is a way to collaborate, connect, and organize everything you need to build your AI solution. It's just like a container to hold. Okay, so this is like a create a new hub. Hub is an collaborative environment for our team. So we create one hub, like team here is working on two different projects, and each project has got their set of resources. Okay, hub and project. So you
Uh,
can see that.
Sorry to
Will
interrupt, Miss
Yeah,
Swami. Swami, we
yeah,
have received a query in the chat. Can you please check?
yeah. Um, okay, multimodal AI, how they are built. This is one, two new messages. Sure. Okay. Okay. So, want some insight on how they are built. So, multimodal AI and how they are built. That's pretty cool. Let's go. And I'll go into this. Let me go to this. Okay. So, it's a big one. Refers to integration of multiple data models such as image, text, speech, and gesture. So this one over here itself is a multimodal one, because we have speech in here, and we are able to generate the text, and we'll be able to generate the image. Now if you want to create those kind of application, what we will do is we'll create a chart, sorry, we'll create an application user interface, whatever the method you want, but I'm thinking like an end to end. So if you have a user interface, that's one part. And the second part is, if you come to the model catalogs, so in this model catalogs, what is that you want to support? So do you want to support Whisper, or do you want to support only the chart completion or only the images, or what kind of functionalities which you want to support? You select those models first and deploy those models. On top of those models, you will expose the API. Like if you see in the previous sections which we have seen, the C sharp coding, like what is that we are doing. This is the grounding example which we are using it. But net what is happening is this is like a chart application, so it does the chart. Here we are exposing this one, and let's assume that here we are using the code generation. So what is happening is here we are using the code generation. Assume that you have to build a set of microservices or a single modular monolithic service which is having different controllers to expose the image generation or code generation or prompt, whatever is your service. Let's assume we are doing these three things. Like prompt engineering is a chart, code generation, and image. We are supporting these three. Either you wrap all these things in a single API, or you wrap each of these things in a different microservices, and then have the API gateway to internally route the request to different microservices. And on top of that, you have the backend for front end, and within that have your client application, maybe React or Angular or Vue.js or Blazor server, whatever you are comfortable, just drop it. So now you have the backend for front end, like your client application, which is hitting the API gateway, and within the API gateway, you have the chart microservice, you have the code microservice, you have the image microservice. So that's one of the way which I think we should be able to build this multimodal. Um, 1 second, let me see that. My video is on. Okay, where is this query? Yeah. Okay, so that is this. Let me switch back to the thing, whatever we are doing. So that's the hub, and we saw that hub is like we are wrapping up those groups. Again, we'll come back and we switch the gears. Let's come back to this one. Let me come back to AI Studio. And within this AI Studio, we see this hub and project. Now, if you see that hub is a collaborative environment, like department, I'm calling it as a department for us to understand, like department A, department B, department C. And within that, we will have different projects. So I just created a couple of hubs just a couple of hours ago, around 3 p.m. This is the first one which I created. It's at 2:41. Let me click on this, and we are inside this hub. And then the next thing is what within that hub we will be able to create different projects. So let me come back to all projects inside that particular hub. Hub is a project one, and inside that we have two different projects. You can see that both belong to the same hub. So right now I only have one hub project, hub project one. So if I have another thing, I can have hub project two. But within this project hub, I have two different projects, and I'm using this. And you can see that here we are inside a hub and in one project. Like I can go back to the same hub and switch to first project. Now the first project is here. Now if I come into this chart, so I'm able to see this one, but it's just like a collaboration in all those things. Anything which is needed to that particular project will wrap into that. So what does that mean is, if I come back to this hub project, you see this. These are the connected resources within that. Like this is one Azure OpenAI, and if I create a hub2 project and I want to create 003 OpenAI service and hook it up to that hub2. So hub1 will use this resource, hub2 will use the another resource, like the storage account, whatever is needed with this one, it will create. We'll come back and we'll look into this in a minute. So we just created this hub. Let me go. We just created this hub, and once we create the AI survey storage account and keyword. So let's see that what all the things which it is getting created inside that. We'll see this. So this is AI project. This is the hub which we are seeing, and the two AI multi-service account which we used to have previously in the previous session are here, and Azure OpenAI. So while creating this, we can hook it up to uh, AI service or to OpenAI. We'll see that, and also the Azure Key Vault is the one which it gets created while creating it. So we should be seeing something in here. Okay, I have to uh, provide this permission for myself into this. That's the reason it is not showing it. And also we can see these things. Like click on this hub, we should be able to see this hub over here, and then all the projects within those hub are being shown here. So right now we are directly in the studio itself. So this is the project. We can click on the project, and we should be able to see the particular thing for that, but that specific project. But again, we can come back to the AI studio. This is the place where you will create all those things. Like you can create a new project and have those have a hub and create different projects within that. And we'll create one now. What is the name of the hub I just created? I will call this as hub2 instead of create a new hub. Okay, that's the one it is creating. So I just create. Oh God. One second, just give me a minute. I'll just create a new hub because at this point of time it's having only one hub. Let me create a second hub now. Okay, I just click on create. Now it has created. That's the hub, and the project name is project 1 in hub 2. So let me call it as proj1 underscore hub 2. Okay, inside that, here you know that it is creating. Let's customize, because some of the things which I didn't like it. So this is hub2. Let me call this as an hub2 instead of hub project. It is a little bit confusion. Hub2, that's the one, and this is the subscription. And the resource group, I just want to put it here in this, or I can create a new one. Let me put it here itself, so it will be easy for me to do a clean. And here, connect AI services or OpenAI. So it's creating a new AI service. So if I have an, we can create a new AI service or hook it up to the existing one. Let me take the existing one and then click on next. So here it shows that what are the hub details, the hub name, and this is the resource group, and the project is proj1 in hub2. So it will be easy to identify. And linked Azure group as linked Azure UI OpenAI, we already created that. So just I'm creating the uh, project. Just give it a minute, it will create. and as we discussed, it will create a key vault as well as the storage account. Let's come back. So when we create the hub, it also creates the AI services, but we hooked it up to the existing Azure OpenAI, and it creates the storage account as well as the key vault. So then you can see that once it creates, it's almost done, and it is creating the hub environment for building AI applications and host your project. And you can see this, the project organizes your work and provides uh, a safe space to collaborate within the team. Like hub can be like a department, what we were speaking about, and that department has got 4 teams, and each team has got their own AI project. Like we can think as Department A, and this is Project One for developers, and Project Two for infra, Project Two for DevOps, Project Four for QA. So like that, we can have those multiple things. And now once we create that, you can see the connected resources. I can come back to this is a project, and I can come back to this hub itself. Within the hub, you can see that we have created a project one and what all the connected resources are there. We can create new resources, something maybe the search or whatever it's allowing. We can have that connection, and here we'll create multiple projects. So create a project also, we have seen that, or else we can click on new project and give the project name, and it knows that from the menu options itself we can know that it is creating under hub one. It's not giving a drop down or a text box for us to select something, but based on this navigation menu, it clearly shows that it's in hub 2, it's creating that. And a deploying a model is same. Like if I come to this chart and you see this, now we are in the context of hub 2. Okay, now we are in the context of hub 2. Missing, what is that? Hold on. Missing search. Okay, sometimes it troubles. Let's do a refresh. If it doesn't work, then we'll create a resource and then we'll start. Let's deploy. Now again coming, this is for the hub 2. So let me go ahead and deploy the 4.0. This 4.0 model very specifically I want to deploy for hub 2. So I'm calling it as -hub 2. And very important here is the content safety. So I'm using the default and default v2. So by default it is choosing v2, so I will keep it as it is, the v2 itself. Okay, so let's keep this as it is, and then let's go back to this chart application over here. And why? Let's come back to hub and let's go to this project. And within this project, I'm clicking on chart playground. And inside this chart playground, I'm seeing the GPT model which I created for hub 2. So that it is showing in here. And then we can explore the content filters. We'll see that. The content filters in a minute now. You can come back in this left navigation. Here you can click on the content, create a content filter. I just created one. So let's try editing it. I mean, you can create on click and do this. Okay. So anyways, we'll create a CF hub 2, we'll name that as uh, custom content filter hyphen for hub 2. So we'll see that, and the connection is again the AI resource. And here in the input for the media, the image and text, it says medium. If you see that, medium means, see this, allow low, block medium and high. So if I am trying to prompt something as part of the input, slight violence kind of prompts, like it is allowing in this one. If you see that, allow low, block medium and high. Hate also, I can have a small low hate speeches kind of thing. I can do that. Now if I make it like this, high, that means I'm allowing low and medium kind of violence prompts. Similarly, hate, I am allowing it. So which is not good for our health. So I'm putting it everything to low. That means nothing should come in. No low self-harm, no sexual content, no hate, no violence, everything low. Even low, we are not allowing. Anything, even if it considers low, it goes and blocks. Jailbreak, it's a big no-no. Okay, jailbreak attacks will be blocked. Okay, or if you want to allow, you can switch this off, but it's not a good thing. And prompt shield for indirect attacks. So that's one of the potential vulnerability. That's we can have that. So it's better to annotate and block. So those things also will be blocked. There's a new one. Block list is turned off. So you can see this block list is currently available only for Azure OpenAI GPT models. I didn't use it, so I'm just keeping it because I don't want my IP or subscription to be in the block list. So that's the reason I didn't select that. Now I'm making it low, and protected material for code is this one. That means a copyrighted material it will block. And to which model we want to use this, we can use it to any of those models here, and then click on next and create the content filter. Now this content filter is available. Now if I'm coming and trying to deploy any of the models, so we can use those. Again, we need to test it thoroughly. I just created it, but we need to go deep into the model, deep into the weeds to see that how much we have tested. In the content safety, it says, where is that? Oh, go back just a moment. Let me select the 4O model. It's not allowing to customize. Okay. And I'll come in here. It is showing the content filters. So I can select either the default or default V2 is the one which it gets selected, but we can select one out of these. I will switch back to the chart and we'll see this one we have seen. And this is the one which it was asking to do. So if I take that and put it here as part of the instructions, system instructions, see this system message section. In the system message section, we are putting it, give the model instructions and context. This is only for testing. Okay, so I'm just mentioning it so it knows that I'm not trying to do something. And now if I type this here, it should not give me. Okay, so because I'm clearly seeing that give me the racist and derogatory statements, and I just marked it that this is just for the testing, so that helps. So that's about the responsible AI and content filter. Now let's come back to the second part of our session today. We are focusing on DALI, and this is very good information. Even I didn't know what DALI is, just I found it uh, today. Let me clear that and let me reset that, and it's already saved. And what is the full form of DALI? Okay, so yeah, this one. So this artist name DALI and pixeler character Valley. So it's a combination of these two is DALL-E. Okay, that's why I'm seeing this here, DAL and E. So I just found it 1 hour ago. So that's the DALL-E for. He's an artist who used to create very realistic image. So let's go back and see what is that, the DALL-E. So you see this is pretty good thing. So with it's a having this English language, natural language input, it creates the images. So let's see, go to the images, and here I'll give the same. We already have DALL-E 2, DALL-E 3, but DALL-E 3 is the latest one, which has got a little bit more advanced. Definitely, it's an more advanced version of the model. Like, see, this is the one previously. See this one, squirrel on the motorcycle. So it assumed that it wanted this kind of thing, but DALL-E 2 is creating this. Let's go to DALL-E 3. Okay, so let's regenerate the same using the DALL-E 3. I don't want this. I will delete it. Okay, see this, it has created. Now I can do this one to generate a new. Okay, now we can add here. And here you can see this, the prompts are being stored along with our images. You can create on this one. Now see, it is, I said that the motorcycle should be green, and squirrel should not wear helmet. Now I said that keep it blue, but I don't want helmet uh, on squirrel. Did it? Okay, I am clearly saying should not have, should not, I'm saying it should not have element. Um, let's see whether it generates or not. And we'll, okay, that's, there you go. So we said that squirrel on motorcycle should be blue in color, blue, and squirrel should not have helmet. So should not wear helmet means maybe I did something wrong, or the sentence itself was not matching. It almost created the similar images, but here I told that it should not have this one. So it created it. So that's it from mindset. I mean, we have to explore the code, which we will do that, and code. And here also you can see that the same kind of prompt which I'm giving. Software engineers with some racist comments, and it is clearly saying that no, it can't do that. Here, somewhere it stopped it. Okay, so let's see in the next session where we are going into the new natural NLP solutions. We will come back to this, and we'll come back to this and see how can we use this one. Okay. Harpreet?
Uh, yes, Swami. As I can see that we have received a question in the chat. It will be helpful if you can see it.
Yep.
Um,
Okay. Parallel parallel computing use in model development. Is that the query, or I'm understanding? Like, you put a question mark, not a problem. Let's do our best to discuss on this one. Let me come back. I'll share my screen. So this is what I'm thinking is your question. You're saying that parallel computing use in model development. Okay. So let's see that. So I'm assuming that this is what you're asking. So distributed training, batch processing is one. I'm assuming your query is, can we use parallel computing in model development, or what all the things which we can do as part of the parallel computing while developing the model? Whatever is your query, but you can see that if you see that, one second, just give me a minute. Session one, not this. Here is the data couch. Data couch is the first one. Let me come in here. And here. So the data collection, data preparation, model selection, training the model, evaluate the model, perform parameter tuning, prediction. So these many steps are there. So whichever is falling under, like model parallelism or pipeline, parameter tuning, inference. This is inference cluster. That's for the prediction. Once we do the parameter tuning, that's what we discussed in session one. Once we are satisfied with that, we'll put it in the inference cluster for prediction. So in all these things, we can use the parallel computing. And again, this is just a thought, but we need to have a thorough discussion on this. It can't be with these bulleted points. Okay, whether what kind of uh, here, whether what kind of data collection we are using in the data cleaning or data preparation, how much, how many rows are there, how are we training it, and how do we execute. And training the model is another thing where we see that evaluation, like a data parallelism, different things are there. But again, that needs a careful preparation and steps, which I think can't be answered in one. But in which section or which area you want to use it, based on that, we need to go and do a deep dive into that. Now, hey
Yes.
Rahul, I will be doing the session, the very specific OpenAI and other sessions, but this is just OpenAI and generative AI from Data Couch. And then next year we'll do more on artificial intelligence and mini projects, because within this 1 hour, I whatever best I can cover is a small mini projects which I can cover. So we'll be doing more in 2025, but there are other 5 sessions continuation of, if you see, this is the fourth session, I assume, Navjot, if I'm not wrong, on the OpenAI series which we started in the data couch. Yeah, this is the fourth session, and still 4 more to go. We'll call it a logical closure, and then we'll start with real-time mini projects. Rahul, back to you, Najat.
So, before we conclude, I ask everyone to take a moment to complete the feedback form shared in the chat. Your feedback is valuable in helping us enhancing future sessions. I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Swami for delivering such an informative and engaging session today. I trust that you found the insights as valuable as I did. For those who missed any part of the session or wish to revisit the material for today's session, a recording will be available on Data Couch's YouTube channel. The link to the recording will be shared on our social media channels and in our monthly newsletter. So, if you have any further questions or would like to explore any additional resources, please feel free to reach out to us at hello@datacouch.io. To stay updated on our upcoming sessions and access more valuable content, please subscribe to our social media channels and join our meetup groups. The relevant links are available in the chat. Thank you for your participation today. We look forward to welcoming you at our next event. Wishing you a very wonderful rest of the evening and a great weekend.